Hi friends, it's your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about um, Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about finders, grinders, and minders, which is a set of terms that comes out of the brand new 2025 The Rainmaker show on USA, which I'm watching on Peacock. And it's really interesting that Peacock umbrellas a lot of content from a lot of different labels, right? It's really really interesting because I think these companies used to like, oh, USA, that's important, and you're like, that's just a button on NBC. It's very fascinating. But so this is a streaming. This thing used to would have appeared on television, right? On network television, and it has a very network television feel to it. Very network television, but it's very good, and it's a Grisham, so it's based on one of Grisham's books, and there was some money put into this. There's real actors and actresses on this thing. It's a very good show, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm all caught up. It's currently on. It's currently airing, right? Like each week, dropping sequentially, and I'm on episode 5. So John Slattery is in this, and John Slattery became famous on Mad Men, right? And he has a very iconic look. He has this, sharp silver hair. He kind of looks like a villain, but he played Roger Sterling on Mad Men, and he's playing pretty much the same character here, because this is what this guy does really really well. Is um, the boss you want to impress, the boss who has so much experience that they almost always know the answer. You're striving to do a good job for them, and it's really it's very interesting show, and I was extremely impressed with it. And so there's this point where, and the show's constructed very well. So there's these two young, you know, idealistic law students who just took the bar, and they both get hired into this white shoe, super wealthy firm, which John Slattery is like a partner in, and the boy and their boyfriend and girlfriend, right? So the boyfriend gets canned on day one, right? Because he's like super idealistic, and the girl stays there, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna get you back in, and he's like, I don't want to be back in, right? And so then they end up having to go against each other, right? And so there's this scene where John Slattery's character is talking to the girl while she's in she's in the actually bad wealthy firm, and he's in the scrappy, like up and coming, idealistic firm, right? And they're opposed, right? The boyfriend and the girlfriend. But John Slattery says to the girlfriend, he's like, in these law firms, there are finders, grinders, and minders. The finders go out and they find the clients, right? These big clients who have these good cases that we can win, that have lucrative cases that we're interested, right? And then there are grinders, and these guys are um, reading and research. They actually do the work that most people associate with lawyers, right? And all three of these are lawyers, right? There are lawyers who go out and find the cases, and you're like, well, couldn't that be done by somebody who's not a lawyer? But the law is so specific, and they have to know so much about cases that generally finders are within. All three of these are within the lawyer bracket. So finder, right, finds new clients, finds good cases. Um, and sometimes those are a mix, or sometimes they need to be kind of crafted together. Grinders, the people who actually read literally the boxes and boxes and boxes of case law that come in, discovery and depositions and all this stuff. And they actually read this stuff one by one. They organize it. They find relationships in it. They research it against past case law, right? Like the grinders. Those are the grinders. And last, there are the minders. And I thought this was really fascinating. He says that's the people who take care of the clients once they're in, who manage them over the years that these cases will take, that keep them happy, keep them calm, help them to see the best path forward when we need to settle, or to turn down millions when there's millions more to be gotten. So these are three different things: people who find the clients, people who do the reading and the research to serve the clients, and then the people who manage the clients. And when I heard this, I immediately thought of Dungeons and Dragons. And I think we are in a position, we had 50 years, and 50, our first 50 years were just terrible. Like, we really didn't have any idea what D&D was. We didn't know, like, one of the things we know now, this isn't debatable. What's a Dungeons and Dragons story worth? Hundreds of millions of dollars. We've seen it multiple times, right? So we've seen Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, like it made $200 million. We've seen Legends of Vox Machina. It's made million. Actually, there was Professor Dungeon Master presented some numbers that was saying that he believed Critical Role was bringing in $30 to $50 million a year. Now, if they've been doing it for 10 years, that means the Exandria story is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And the existence of Jeff Bezos, signing paperwork that impacts directly, Critical Role, I think that's very true. The other one is Ravnica, Theros, Strixhaven. That's Magic the Gathering, and those are Dungeons and Dragons. They are MTG, canon to D&D, D&D, canon to MTG. There's no way around this. It's the way it is. Like, it's just, and there are there was $200 million of sales on the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set in a single day. D&D stories are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And so what I'm saying is that now, right, I think the Dungeon Master job may start to look like a team of lawyers, right? Where you have somebody who goes and finds the players, somebody who does the reading and the research and actually crafts the campaign. That's what we consider a Dungeon Master today. And then finally, a Dungeon Master whose only job is to manage the players over the weeks, months, or years that campaigns take. And so I could see us quickly approaching. Actually, we just saw Matthew Mercer was standing next to Jeremy Crawford and Christopher Perkins. Every single one of them is a freestanding Dungeon Master who doesn't need any help, and they were all working on the same campaign. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible, right? That is truly next level change, right? And that's exactly what, you're looking at three people doing the job of one person, what we thought was one person before. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.